Cool Dig's Rock and Garden Shop has been a long-running Athens business for the past 13 years. They have a location on East State Street that specifically sells outdoor and garden supplies, but their shop uptown was made specifically to house their rocks and crystals. That dream was shattered when construction on the Lostro building took over.
What we didn't know is that in the months prior to that, they had already had this thing closed off for months. And so people's traffic patterns were starting to take them around the other side of the street.
Owner of Cool Dig's Sarah Koya Bryant says the fence blocking the sidewalk went up in August and has not come down since. She tells me she has sent numerous emails to the city safety directors asking how the sidewalk can just be blocked off, as that's people's right of way.
We had routine customers who immediately were complaining, hey, I can't park up here. These guys are taking up lanes of parking. They're covering all the bags. No one can get to your shop. I have to jaywalk to get to your shop now.
Athens resident and employee at Rise and Grind Coffee Truck, Cannon Mitchell, says he's seen how this construction has disrupted businesses, and he says it's uncalled for.
The officials that are in charge of this town, I think, are meant to try to preserve as much of it as possible, and I think that it is a bad decision on their parts to let these businesses die.
Bryant says she wanted to move Cool Dig's uptown to sell to college kids that can't make it out to East State Street. Unfortunately, she says she was bleeding money, forcing her to ultimately shut down.
What about all of these other businesses? Like you're shutting down 3 businesses over empty promises from an unfinished development that is way over time already.
Owner of 10 West Clothing Store, Mary Cheadle, understands these frustrations as she's battled them herself.
I'm bummed when any business goes out of Athens.
Cheadle says in 2014 there was a fire ruining 7 businesses, forcing her to move to a temporary location. When she moved, she was stuck behind all the construction to fix those buildings, and she says that almost took her out.
I totally understand where they're coming from and how hard that is when you lose the foot traffic, because even though it is just on that side of the street, it does affect the whole street. If you know that's going on, you might avoid the street altogether or avoid coming uptown altogether.
Bryant says she's working with a group called Reimagine Appalachia, who works to change laws through a community benefits plan. Bryant says this plan would be a binding contract between the community and the city to ensure wherever construction is happening, they're being good neighbors.
People want to get together and they want to know what's going on. They want to have conversation.
We just need some things that are unique. Let's bring some uniqueness back to Athens.